You're being recorded now. So when we are in tournaments in here in events, we can now add a rubric on ballots and rules. And so we've always put in there the descriptions. I've always linked the NSA ballot as it is, but now we could even put in our ballot with our rubric in it, linked in here fully as well. We've got speech times. We can add in our inclusion here instead of putting just speaker points equals an A from this range to this range. We can actually put in what it is they're being evaluated on here in the speaker points and say, when they get a 30, this is what we're seeing. When they get a 25, this is what we're seeing and we're looking at. But each of the judges are going to see one of these on their ballots as well. And I can't do this because you have to have a tournament going and assigned to see what the judges are actually seeing and stuff like this. But they'll have their win-loss ballot record just like normal in there, but they'll also see the description of what is being evaluated here. The judges will. You guys can have these. We've got rubrics that we're going to give you guys and put up as Carly's developing them right now that we'll hand out to you guys. And we'll put up. So you guys, they'll see all of this and they'll know what to look for and be evaluated. These aren't graded at all. These are automatic. This will now create. Oh, we create them. So you have to create this in Tabroom when you do this. So what I literally went through the rules in the NSDA things, and these are in the new handbook. All of these things are in the new handbook. And so you guys can go in and create these in your own tournaments if you wish to. You have to add each of these lines yourself. And you add your own label for it, your own description, and how many points it's going to be.
Tanya, is there any way we can post like a generic summary of that on the coach's website so it's easy access?
We are going to do that. We're working on all of these things. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. So your tournament director, whoever's running the Tabroom and whoever's creating your tournament, you have to create these in there.
I see. So I'm on the training tournament, not correctly. My judges will still see this amount.
Exactly. Yeah, if that tournament director put them in there. I will have this created for all state tournaments. And I'll create a template that those who are regions, if they wish to copy it, can, and have them all in there the way they're gonna. That way you guys can have them all. If you wish to have these literally in the handbook, and I'll show you in a minute. Literally, I've just put in each of these descriptions, those things. Now, because we don't go lower than 20 points, or 25 points, right? So I've made the minimum they can give 4 points, and there's 6 categories. So that makes what, 24 points? I know, five categories, sorry. That goes to 20. So they can go to 20 on these lovely points here if they need to, but that's like the lowest we want them to go. And 6 would be the highest, which would be 30. So 5 times 6 is 30, right? So they can give between 4 and 6 on their points. They can do this. Cool thing is this will add up to your speaker points in there. And they will, and so the judges, when they're in there, can go, oh, this team got 25, you know, they're looking at specific things. It's not just, oh, I like the way they did this. I like the way they spoke, or this did this. We're not getting random speaker points based on who knows what in their subjective minds. We have clear things that they are looking at.
I'm blind and
Yeah.
specificity. What do those lines say?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to see. There we go.
So clarity. Okay, so they're getting like 4 points on clarity, 6 points on evidence and logic.
Exactly.
5 points on this, or whatever.
And these
then
are
that-
directly off the NSDA LD ballot. These are
Every single-
literally on that ballot that this is what coaches should be looking for, or judges should be looking for, are these things. And I literally just like copied them over to it. Yes.
So, I love the idea of rubrics on here. I less love the idea that if I set up a tournament, I have to do each rubric. So, I don't know, is there any way, but is there any way that we could just like set up some sort of like a test tournament and then make all of us tournament access, and then that's something that we could go and then just copy over to make a tournament?
I am happy to do that. I will clone mine right here that I've got of it with all of these in there, and you guys can
What if we just have this?
clone it. We can have a UBCA test or template tournament. And everyone who wants access to it, I will just give access to, so you can clone it. I will have that done this week. That'll be very easy to do. So, and then you can just do those things, okay? So each of, yes, yeah, right? Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, it's easier. I wish there was an easier way, I promise. Yeah, yes.
Basic question, like we've done some of this before, we give like ranks for each like category,
Mhm.
and it pushes speaker points down.
Mhm.
And so you get experience is, I don't know if it's gonna do that on this, I can't do that,
Right.
but if it does, I think prep your kids with data before, they're gonna be shocked. Yeah.
And that's the thing here is yeah, because they're used to just getting those whatever random. things.
Teaching them to you, like, let's look at the rubric.
I didn't say that, but no prep.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's probably-
Right, exactly. Well, and that's the nice thing is the judges, especially if they're brand new, now know what they're looking for in there. And so this, and how to do speaker points. Those brand new judges are like, what am I giving speaker points on? And you're just like, well, did they do better than this? How do they, now they have something clear to look at and what to look at. So arguments are presented in a manner that is clear and understandable to the judge. Delivery, possession style, poise, articulation, punctuation, enunciation, inflection are effective in delivering the arguments. Evidence cites credible assertions and warrants claims accordingly. Cross-examination, clarify, challenge, and or advance arguments. Again, these are right off of the ballots. And so, a lot of people don't go in and just click on the ballots and look, this now will force our judges to go in and go
To read it.
to actually put those in and stuff. This will be underneath those things. I'll put this in and that will be kind of speaker points for them. It'll automatically give those as speaker points to our debaters and stuff. We don't use points of speech, but this also in a speech event gives clarity to those judges of like, who is doing a better job? How am I looking at this thing? So our kids aren't going, well, why did they give me a 1 and not the other kid? Right? Now we've got a rubric saying, where are you doing well on skills? Not just overall and around, why am I just getting, and if they never give feedback at all, we've at least got something to go on, right? That we can look at. So argument analysis in for an extent, is the student directly answering the question? Does the student develop justification for their ideas and the significance of their issue? Do they offer a variety of sources? Again, this is right off of the rubric for extemp in the NSDA and stuff. Delivery, is the student using their voice, movement, and expressing effectively? Is the speaker confident? Is there consistent eye contact? Is the volume appropriate? We're looking at all the skills that we're teaching our kids, and notice that it's not about winning or losing an argument or about criticizing their ideas. Those controversial ideas out there that maybe some people don't, they're giving an oratory on something they're passionate about. Their audience is going, this gives them something to look at skill wise and evaluate those skills that they're using, not those ideas and criticizing the ideas. And it helps us to see those things and help us as coaches to go, where can I help my kids improve? Yes.
Were the debate event rubrics only for speaking points, or is there rubric information for how they turn it around as well?
So that's in the regular instructions on the homepage of the events. So when I go back into my events, so they'll see both of these, all of these things on their ballots. So, yeah, so I have all of these, the information of what the event is here and how it should be judged and what's going on in the round and stuff as well. I'll also include Carly's coming up with the rubrics that look a little bit more like regular rubrics that we're used to looking at. But that'll be there attached and stuff as well. Carly is taking from these and just making them into something paper that we can give to you guys for your kids and stuff. So she's taking what's going in on a Tabroom and making it something accessible for us and our students.
They'll just be emailed.
I'll put them on the site and I'll send an email to you as soon as they're doing it. Or Carly will. Where did Carly go? She left. She's done. She's gone. All right. She's probably trying to get back in again. It kicked her out. There we go. Okay.
So the ballots, when judges are looking at them,
Mhm.
Tabroom,
They'll look like the normal did, but underneath, I put them on some. They'll just have that box that we're looking at underneath RFD and everything else like that. So that they'll have to put those in as well as their decision
sweet.
and
So
stuff.
you'll just see, so like, for instance, it's like, yeah, you'll see like you'll have your teams, first and second, first week or whatever, you'll mark your decision, have your RFE.
And then there's speaker points, yep, they're added up and stuff, so yeah, so it'll be there. I played with this on the drama stuff last year. Cause I run everything on Tabroom, but they had paper ballots, so I was playing with the online rubrics because they want rubrics. And I'm like, dude, if we can get rubrics to work for them, I can get off paper. And I think debate people are much easier than drama people. You wouldn't think that, but it's so true. I've been just 10 years trying to get them to do a little bit of online here with it, but. So creating them in here is a little bit more, and like I say, I'll create that tournament. You guys can all have access to it. So you'll have these, no problem within that. And don't have to worry about it, but that is what it is. And this is rubrics. We haven't made one for SPAR yet because we're working on SPAR. I want to get it right. So Jacqueline and Vaughn and Mary and we can get together on SPAR so we can make sure it's right. Because there's no rubric for SPAR on, so like, what ones do we use from LD policy, impromptu? I don't know on those things. So, even in congressional debate. So this will help our Congress judges. Because there's nothing worse than not knowing what current Congress judges are judging on and looking at, especially when they're new. Same thing, or evidence of thoughts, organization, evidence and logic, delivery. And then we've added in direct questioning for them as well, because of the new direct questioning to help them with that. Yes. I believe you can do 1.5 and things like this in there. And stuff like that, so it's not a problem. Within those.
So no speak events in Congress, that is being asked to get a score out of 1 to what?
So the max points they can receive here are this amount of points, because in Congress, we don't count their points, and in speech, we don't count their points. This just helps them to know what kind of points they should be giving things on, how much they should value those points.
So they're not actually entering the score for each of those 5 things, it's just a guide.
Yeah, it's a guide for them, and they can enter them so they can see that visually when they're going in to give rankings. They can go, oh, this guy, this kid loves, you know, this many
They
points.
can make up their own.
Oh, they already are. So,
This could help them rank.
but this will help them rank them better. Because right now, especially in Congress, we have speech points that are being required now the way we have them set up. They have to get, if they want to get feedback, they have to go into speeches and they have to give points. In Congress at the national level, that's 6 points per speech. So this adds up to 6 points or 8 points. Yeah, 8. I need to fix that. They should be, yeah. I was still working on this one when I stopped. So those should be 6 points, adding up to 6 points. So the things that they're looking at within there. And that way, when they're giving speeches, they're going, okay, I should be looking at all these things. How much would I get out of that? Then at the end, they can see the total and they can go, okay, this kid averaged this many points. This is where he ranks within all everyone else within that. So it'll be a little more than, oh, I just liked this person better, which happens a lot, especially in Congress, right? This kid sounded better than the other kids. So did they have the evidence? Right. So, or this kid had the evidence, maybe didn't sound as good. Where do they fit? And again, it helps the kids with the skills rather than just winning or losing all the time. We can have a much better growth mindset with our kids on how do we learn and grow from what we're doing versus just winning around. Because even your advanced kids, if they're doing really well, where are they ranking in these things? And we can see what judges are saying on skills that they're looking at in the rubrics. So we're going to train our judges to fill these out, even if they're not being used in deciding things, so that you guys can see these things when you go back on your ballots and do ballot reviews with your kids stuff. So 6, 8 points. So anyway, I've got to go look at that again. This has been me working all the summer and then I stopped because I got tired. All right. Policy has I haven't made policy yet. Public forums yet. I just, like I say, I stopped halfway through on these things. So, and combined impromptu, again, we're looking at the same skills between all interp events. So this helps with interp events to be able to understand what they should be looking at and clearly on and stuff like that. So hopefully this helps everyone. Again, Carly, our lovely master here, she's coming up and I'll show you what she sent me this morning. She's already started on. Let's see. There is not it. There it is. So she has started looking at how to create these into something you can give your kids.
that then you guys can go, okay, this is what you're gonna be judged on in a tournament. Not randomly, hey, this is the event, go and have fun and see what the judges randomly say.
Right.
Right? So this is the exact same things that were in those rubrics written there and the exact same scoring kind of system. And she's just going through and creating these to look for those types of things for you. So that you guys can. So hopefully, in the next month or so, we'll have those before the tournament. Stuff I know. Been busy doing. So we'll get those going. This will help our judge training. Because we can give this to them and they have clarity in what they're doing and thinking. And so we all know they're all about teacher clarity, right? So let's get clear. Let's help our judges get clear and what they're doing and how they're doing it. That is one thing that I will say about the drama. They have those very clear rubrics. This is what this looks like. This is what this looks like. This is what this looks like. And they have those in front of them doing it. So this will help our judges have that same thing. So even if, because we want the lay judges, we want the inexperienced judges, and we want every level of types of judges because that's what is the value to our kids. Because we need that, but we also need to have some clarity on guidelines of what they're judging so that they can do their best judging and our kids can get the best feedback. Cool. Questions, concerns? This has been a long project all summer long, but then this. So let's go to, let's see, where did I do it? Here we go. No, that was this. So in our UHSA, if I can go to the Utah, there we go. So if you come here to our lovely website, let's see, handbook, here we go. Come on, are you not linked? Oh, I didn't link you because
Yeah.
I had linked it because we were updating it. There we go. If you haven't been here before, please see if I can, here we go. This is, we're under the United High School Activities Association. So we're beholden to some of their rules, as well as they allow us to make a lot of our own rules, which is great. I'm having a hard time seeing this. So this is our lovely new handbook. It's supposed to have, I'll have to remind John, he was going to make a linkable topic page at the front of contents, table of contents, that word. I am really struggling today. Table of contents that we can link on so you can jump to wherever you need to go instead of but it is a lot smaller other than the fact that we put every event in with the rubrics and everything at the end. They're at the very bottom. So the rest of the handbook looks pretty good. And this looks good too. It's just, it is nice and expanded. So yeah, we took out a lot of the mess. I'm just saying, oh, what did you do? My computers didn't like me for a second. Jump to this page. I haven't memorized the pages yet though for the new handbook. So if you go into events and rules, you're now going to see each event lined out, described. You can literally copy and paste these into your descriptions of events and your tournaments. I'll do this again in that tournament. So all you have to do is copy them if you wish. So this will all be there, as well as the rubric from the NSDA and what we are looking for. And again, it has what each of these are: clarity, delivery, evidence and logic, cross-examination, overall representation. This is what that looks like so we will all see, you guys can all see, we're all about transparency, making sure that everyone is aware and clear what's going on. So even though I haven't got them created yet, in here you will see, here's PF. And this is PFs, then there's Lincoln Douglas. And there's Lincoln Douglas. Evidence rules for debate, yay. So you can see every event there, and we'll do the same thing for SPAR. So that last half of the handbook, you guys could literally print off and hand to your students and go here. Yeah, right. Because now it has everything about the event, the rubrics, and what they're in. It's their lovely guide for the rest of their. I'm glad it's so nice. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh. We're making it, I went, again, he's saying there's like little things and I'm like,
No, I know, I just. kidding.
All I know, well, here was John going, have they even looked at the handbook and make sure it's good? I'm like, I did my part.
Yeah, I did mine.
And they're like, well, this part's still missing. I'm like, I'll go in and start again. And then he's like, have you reviewed it yet? And I'm like, everyone, please go review my reviewing because I don't know what I'm seeing anymore. So I apologize.
No.
You've done so good. I was like starting to blur things together at the end after 3 weeks of looking at this thing, so. This has been like one of my goals, since I became president, like, I don't know how long ago was that, 5 years ago. So I'm glad to see it finally come to fruition. I can retire. We're good. Yeah, well, that's my thing now. Now that it's up here, go through this, you guys, and let us know if there's problems and errors, because we can fix them. Yeah. Yeah.
You get to that, you go to the UBCA website, then you go to the USHA, just go to.
You can UHSA button and go there, or eventually I will have this linked on there too on the handbook. I'll literally link it to the handbook and it'll take you straight to it. I just hadn't done it yet because I didn't know it was up until the other day. And I haven't fixed that one yet. I've been working on the website and this, and I don't know why I'm working on so many things. Because I'm glutton for punishment, I don't know. So, and that is, if you,
Section of it.
yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah, he was doing a lot of copying and pasting from the NSDA things and stuff like this. The new website, well, they're not new, it's been the old website, I'm just making it look new. So it looks a little more professional. We've also got Rachel Billings' husband, Victor, is helping us work on things and stuff too, to make sure it's all there. But your students should go here. This is Sterile Day where access, everything for Congress. We'll also put the rubrics up here for them. Congress has been updated. Awesome. So Congress legislation template, this is how they're going to submit orders of the day. Have we need to upload those new orders of the day too.
The orders of the day, and I'll change those fonts and make it look like different.
We've got the new orders of the day, which reflect the changes we've made and help with the rubrics as well. Because it goes with all of that. So we tried to make the orders of the orders of the day are now like almost 2 pages instead of 1, but we felt the clarity for our judges and our students was more important.
And have we shared about the change?
No, would you like to tell us about this? Jacqueline is now at Alta. She is the new Sydney, who was the new me. So she's really just me. It's fine. But she's also no longer going to be head over everything Congress like she's been for what, the last 12 years?
Yeah.
So let her talk for a second.
Yes, we are transferring the administrative side of things to Mary Thayer. And for those of you who know Mary, she's got an incredible vision for taking it to the next level, which I just don't have time to do. So God bless her. She wants to actually, she's got some great ideas and she should actually be sharing this more than me.
Yeah.
But so this is my last posting, and then she's going to actually work on giving feedback back to you as coaches. So your kid just doesn't feel like they send it off to the internet and don't know why their legislation got accepted.
Or didn't get accepted?
Yeah, or didn't get accepted, yeah. And so she's gonna take that on and really take it to the next level. And so it's gonna be even better. So I'm
Get your
really
kids putting some legislation in there.
Yeah, we only had 5 pieces that got accepted this round. So if you have some kids who are already starting off in Congress and want to have some legislation accepted, we need more. So please have.
Do a class activity next week. Make everyone write one.
Yeah.
It's a good way to build argumentation because you have to be really concise about that argumentation and get it in there. So.
But we will change it on the website. We'll put in Mary's email and it'll be sent to Mary now instead of me. And she's just gonna, like I said, take it to the next level and really make it even better. That's all we're gonna.
So we'll also go in here and I'll put links to each of the events, their descriptions and rubrics there for the students, so the students can have access to them. So this will be good for your students and not just coaches. And we'll also put, the judges already has a lot of information about how to judge everything. We will add in here also the rubrics and stuff like this once we get those created and things like that, so that the judges can be trained there. The other thing that I would love to do is, I know there's the Facebook group for, with all of the tools and stuff like this for judges, doesn't always work. Doesn't always get us good judges. There's people who are like, well, I'd like to volunteer. Next time, let me know. I've added a lovely little directory that if you have judges who are like, I would love to judge next time, or if you know someone else who needs a judge, you can send them, go fill this out. And I am linking, and I'll link that out to you guys, and make it so that you guys can see this directory of judges so that we can more personally contact them instead of just hoping the whims of Facebook will give them you information about a judge. Yes.
Last year, somebody did that, or it's 2 years since I've been a coach for this, somebody does that thing where they send out at the start of the month, extent topics.
So that is, then it has been usually the president of things. I can continue doing that, and finding and stuff like this. They're on NFHS. If you go to the National Federation of High School, whatever's activities, NFHS.
National Federation.
If I can type. You can become a member of the NFHS through when you join your NSDA as well. It's like a $20 membership. It gets you extra insurance coverage when you go on events and tournaments, which I always appreciate in case something happens. Yeah, talk to your athletic director. They can often pay for it out of things. But once you're a member, you can go into resources and things like that. And you'll be a part of a group. So when I sign in, they actually have debate coach training. This is where judge training also happens. They created the judge training for things with the NSDA.
So whoever is sending out extent topics is just copying it.
I'm just literally getting it from here. If you become a member, you will have access to those things. So my groups, I've got speech and
Oh, so I won't have access to it.
yeah, that's the problem is it's just like in NSDA, you have to have membership to get to certain things.
That's fine.
That's why we go in and copy it and send it out to everyone. It's also why you shouldn't post it out to everyone and give it just to your kids and stuff. Yeah, it's a teaching tool, not the topics. Also to remember, they don't have to go about the topics at tournaments. Those are just the general topic areas and samples for you to practice with. They are not technically the ones that have to be used at tournaments, even though that over the last 5-6 years, that's become the kind of a norm. Because sometimes after 2 weeks, they're irrelevant or things have changed as we saw over the summer, things were changing like weekly on certain events. So you should always look at those topics. If you're using those as your topics at your tournament, look at them, adapt them, change the wording and things like this. Also, it helps the kids stop being pre-prepared and the possibility of cheating when it comes to exam. Because if they've got the topics in advance, of course they're prepping outlines. Of course they've practiced giving a speech on that already. Change it up enough that you can, that it's not exactly the same and stuff, but use these as great practice tools. I know, but we'll still get it, it's fine.
Somebody wrote this.
But I said it, yes, yeah, we'll get that, either he or I or someone will remind me if it doesn't happen. I can't post them to the website though, because that would violate the rules of putting them online. So, all right, so that's where that is. Again, great things. They also have a lot of great stuff on policy. They don't do it on any other event. And my time will end in 10 minutes, which I think is about our time. Yeah, perfect. Okay. But they do have a lot of stuff on policy debate. So this is a great place to go see PowerPoints on topics. They got some great research. They got some things, especially to help your novices maybe get some things on as well. Even though we use our closed deck, this is still a great tool to help them get acclimated to the new topics and stuff. Help you guys out. You don't have to do all the research. So, let's see, there's that. Anything else we can do? If all else fails, reach out to Carly. I'm putting it on Carly now. I'm like, I'm really, I'm looking to get rid of all the emails that I keep getting. Not that I'm not offended. If you email me, I will still answer. I will still do those things, but I'm really hoping other people will take up the mantles as we go forward. And I think you're our PR person.
So
Yes, so Victoria's our public relations. She's gonna get you need to work with Rachel. I know there's a Facebook group already.
Yes, we've got our Facebook group, and then one of the things that I do want to do, speaking of the judges group, is I want to make sure that we're posting regularly there, because. So I run a business outside of coaching, personally with social media, so I'm very focused and interested in it, but also educated on how to get Facebook groups posting, so they show up on people's timelines, so they see the post, they see the notifications. There's a ton of people in there, but if they don't interact in the group, Facebook, it doesn't matter if we post them at the same time, they're not going to see it, because Facebook says that person, you don't care about the Facebook group anymore, right? But there's things we can do to start to get people going in there, some engagement. One of my gigs is honestly kind of like what you were saying with tournaments when it comes to judges. I'm just reaching out to you guys and be like, hey, I see that Steve is hosting Patriot Drive. Where are you missing judges? And if he's like, I need 17 policy judges, or I need 6 different judges.
Not that many.
I don't know. Hopefully I've never done that, right? Geez. But I can post in the group and be like, hey, on behalf of the UCA, this tournament needs judges. Period. End of story. This tournament needs X amount of PSS. This tournament needs X amount of this. And then it's kind of a general, you're not having to not posting it. You're not gonna remember go track all these people down. Instead, I can make that post and you can go in and be like, oh, that person says, oh, you can just go message. You know what I mean? Or if you message me directly, I can get them to me. And then I also, one of the things I want to start doing is to want to get a UCA Instagram page going. And you guys can send me photos for tournaments, tweets, all kinds of stuff. Anything I can promote or get out, I want to start growing it. Across the country, nobody is really putting this type of content out there. You know what I mean? So for us, as far as growing our programs, and especially just making speech debatable, I'm not gonna
You tap into the
making it fun, yeah, making it fun, and kids who want to get involved. They're on social media anyways, you might as well be out there making content, so it's oh, that's acceptable to me, and it's not oh, that's just the nerd.
Anyone else want to do TikTok? Because I don't, but hey, I wouldn't even be objected to a TikTok
I
channel.
wouldn't be opposed to it either, but at the same time, I don't know how that will have to work. But mostly the Instagram, I'm thinking, just because then you can send out the photos of this tournament, and I can literally post in the caption. The first place was Bridgeline, second place was,
Celebrate our communities. Yeah.
Like 1A to 6A too. I know there's a lot of coaches where we come to these things and it's I don't know them. Or only the 6A coaches know each other, only the 5A coaches know each other. And there's kind of these things too where people don't know who they're. Oh, I want to also be spotlighting other coaches and make it to where we are more of a community environment. So that's the only way I survived last year of just being thrown in being head coach. I was emailing Tanya, Susan, Dr. Coach, which is Sydney, literally anybody who would help me. I got around and I stuck with her so much, and I think the only reason I did that is because they made them feel available to me. But I know there's a lot of people, oh, I might feel like you're just sitting over there.
Right there.
It's I'm getting out of Tanya will call on me.
Right? It's one of those things that I think if we make it more accessible to people, it'll also make it where coaches want to be involved more. It doesn't seem like it's so much work. It doesn't seem like you're in the pool by yourself with no clothing on, kind of thing.
I think a thing to add to the Instagram, I know that my team has their own Instagram page. And so it's a nice way to integrate the students and their public relations for.
Because they're always making friends, doing things at the tournament anyway.
Yep. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to write, oh, this will do that. I want to act out the debate did this. And you can
Send
go
your
to their page,
team Instagram things.
Yeah, if you have a team Instagram, I think all it is you have to do is get approved with your school principal, which most of them cheer, soccer, football. There's so many clubs and teams or all that already have Instagram.
You just gotta be personally friends with your kids and make it a team account.
Yes, I have one of the things I'm actually going to go over too is I have one of my student officers that's in charge of that. Also, I have it set up with my school email, my phone number, 2-factor authentication, all of that. So if you decide to give it up to anybody, they can't log in without me first. But also she knows the responsibility. It's hey, we're doing a team spotlight, we're doing a team Thursday, we're gonna have social. These are metrics I expect to see, and that's how I'm creating her own leadership in the team too. So not only it's not more work for me, I'm literally delegating out most of the stuff on the team Instagram. So really I'm just gonna the UCA one. But if I'm hey, here's our results from the tournament for the team, go through that, have her job. But then also she can post because she also knows all the team things. So they get posted on their personal profiles, right? And it just keeps kind of spreading. So
Get your email and also whatever links
so that we can move on to the other.
We'll also post them as soon as she gets those to me. I'll also put them on the website.
Yes, I haven't made the UBCA Instagram yet. I was gonna talk to Tanya about it, but like, how this idea? What do you guys think?
I say yes. He says yes, we're good.
My email. is-
I'm not in charge. She said to you.
I can send it, I'm on the UBCA, but it's Victoria, just at .RIGGAN at jordandistrict.org.
Carly, will you type in your email into chat and I'll put the chat up?
I know how to work.
Carly's putting her email in here.
To the chat, and you guys can write down problems with judges or suggestions.
Can you read that out?
Send them to her. Yeah, as soon as I do that. Oh, of course it is. KARLIE dot Jordan with an A at the end. So JORDAN at CCSDUT.org. Correct.
And if you guys ever have any questions on judging or anything like that, or suggestions, please let me know. Like, I've gotten a lot of really good feedback so far, but our first priority is, of course, to our students, but our second priority should be to our judges, because without them, we couldn't run tournaments. So let's try to make it easier for them too.
She'll make it easier on us too.
Yes, which is always good.
Anything we can do. Okay, so take a deep breath. And I know my Zoom's like bouncing. Time left, 2 minutes. Counting down timer. So take a break for a few minutes and hopefully we've been working hard to help you guys out and hopefully this will be a benefit to you. We hope so. That's what we've been hearing all this feedback for years. We wanted to do something about it. We tried. A lot of it's just been how to. All right, Carly, it's gonna kick you out again here in a minute. Do you want me to open it back up for you to come and visit other things or are you good?
I think I'm all right.
Okay,
Anything
I'll
else
just
for you?
record and put up for you then.
Okay, I'll get those recordings.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Tanya.
Thanks, Carly.
And we will stop. Okay. Stop share. And stop recording.